Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another random match here on WWE 2K17. Now, this one is one suggested by Jay over at Gaming HD. He has asked for Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. Now, I hope you don't mind, Jay, but I've tweaked this ever so slightly because I wanted to try a different match type. So we're going to have this inside a steel cage. So it's not the pay-per-view the steel cage match happened, but these two guys obviously did have a steel cage match not too long ago in NXT for the championship. And I really want to try it out in this game to see just how it works. Of course, steel cages on 2K16 were not fantastic. We had some issues with the match type where basically it just took a long time to finish a match because I think we only did one or two. And people just would not stay down. That was the problem. I think one I did was Sting versus Hogan. And it must have taken about 20 leg drops by Hogan and about 20... Scorpion Death Drops by Sting finally for someone to win the match. So hopefully in this game it's going to be a little bit better. I think it will be because I've noticed that people are staying grounded a little longer. So potentially one of these two guys were to use their finisher maneuver, that might be enough to allow them to escape the cage. We'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully this will be a little bit better. We do have some more coming for you today. I'm trying to do 5 a day at the moment up until probably... well, hopefully the weekend. It depends if I can get enough recording in time because I'm going away at the weekend. So I'm hopefully going to get enough recording time. We're going to try and get 5 up today, 5 up tomorrow, 5 up Saturday, 5 up Sunday. And then we might start to... we'll still do a few, but maybe just not as many as 5 a day. Especially since we have now started to get the Universe mode up as well. If you've not seen that yet, that was uploaded last night. So go and check that out. And it was a little bit of a back and forth episode because we're still trying to get used to how the Universe mode works. But I'm sure in our first episode of SmackDown it's going to be a little bit easier, a little bit smoother for us. And here he comes, Finn Balor. I'm looking forward to seeing what Finn Balor is going to be like on next year's... oh, sorry, next year's. Looking forward to what Finn Balor is going to be like when he's holding the championship because he does have a special entrance, so that'd be interesting to see. Maybe we can encounter that in the Universe mode at some point. Of course, we are doing with our Universe mode now is we are going to be running from the beginning of January through to WrestleMania, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. We've got the Royal Rumble coming up very, very soon. We'll try and get quite a few episodes of the Universe mode recorded. And of course, Finn Balor going to be a big part of that. Finn Balor has already made his debut in our first episode of the Universe mode as well, faced off against Sheamus. But again, I think a lot of these random matches are just a good chance for us to try some of these different match types out. We've found out the triple threats and fatal four ways work very, very well this year. I mean, that's all we've tried so far. We haven't tried any special match types, so we'll have to try and go for a last man standing at some point as well. I might try and fit that into one of the other matches I've got. Hell in a Cell, I think someone has suggested Hell in a Cell. But of course it needs to be pulled out of the hat to go ahead with, doesn't it? Full Set Anyway might be interesting. TLC. Backstage Brawl we have to try as well. I've not tried a Backstage Brawl yet on the new game. So I might do one of them. It's just trying to think of people that suit the match type. That's the problem as well. Like, we've got Extreme Rules and Full Set Anyway. I think I've actually pulled one of the videos today out of the hat, and that is going to be a no holds barred match. So we'll get a look at that as well a bit later today. But I'm looking forward to seeing this cage match. Wouldn't it be amazing if like Finn Balor would do like the coup de grace from the top of the cage or something like that? That'd be pretty crazy. Joe just getting right in the face of Samoa Joe there. Joe, that's Finn, sorry. Finn getting right in the face of Samoa Joe. Finn's entrance is a little over-exuberant sometimes, isn't it? It's a pretty damn cool entrance, though. I can just imagine the sort of stuff they could do with Finn. Like a WrestleMania, because they always go over the top of WrestleMania entrances now, don't they? Give that extra little step. And I can't imagine how good Finn Balor's entrance will be at WrestleMania. Hopefully he's going to be on the WrestleMania card. I can't see why not, because they brought him into Raw and put him straight in the main event picture and gave him the Universal Championship straight away as well. So I'm assuming they'll probably bring him back into the main event picture when he does come back from injury. Rumour has it he's going to be round about the beginning of next year, so we're not too far away, only a couple of months away now. But hopefully he's going to be back in time for Royal Rumble, because I'd love for him to be a surprise entrant in the Rumble. So here we go. Joe versus Balor inside the steel cage for the first time in 2K17. Let's see what the match is like. Will they utilise the cage to their advantage? Well, that's one of the things that annoyed me a bit last year. Like, especially Hell in a Cell was one of the main ones. A Hell in a Cell match was just a match that was just the same as any other. Just it took place in a cell. They didn't use the cell. They didn't really use weapons that often either. So it was a bit disappointing, really. So hopefully this year they will start to use the environment a bit more to their advantage. Finn throwing Joe into the ropes. Springs back into a drop kick. But so far both these guys not utilising the cage, but you're not going to utilise it consistently, are you? There's just going to be cases here and there. Big belly to belly there by Samoa Joe, now just twisting the head of Finn Balor. I just want to take this chance to say thank you to you guys as well, because I've had a lot of extra views and a lot of stuff over the last few days, so thank you very much for your continued support. I'm still trying to get to the 2,500 subscriber mark, so hopefully we'll get there pretty soon. So it's a little bit annoying because we seem to have lost subscribers more than anything else. That's the main thing. We seem to have dropped from. We were only about 5 or 6 away from 2,500. Now we've dropped to 16 away. So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. I don't know whether YouTube have had another purge of accounts like they have done in the past. Big elbow drop there by Finn Balor from the top. Now just stomping on the face of Samoa Joe, dragging him into the middle of the ring. And Finn with a step up into Guri again. Joe crashing down. And it's fun to see just your guys' suggestions, because there's always a certain theme going around. We've got a lot of people asking for Samoa Joe. A lot of people asking for Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. All the ones you'd expect. Seth Rollins as well. So all the ones you would definitely expect. I've actually just had one suggested a minute ago that involved Tatsumi Fujinami, which is the first time I've ever seen anyone suggest that, which is pretty cool actually. So Finn, the first person trying to escape the cage, and Joe brought him back down. So Finn did get a considerable weight up that cage before Joe brought him down. And that wasn't even with a finishing move. That's pretty interesting. Joe with a step up into Guri of his own. And just stamping on the back of the leg of Finn. Clever move to try and damage the legs of your opponent, because it's going to make it more difficult for them to climb the cage, really. Gives you a bit more time to play with if you have been grounded. Joe, oh, Finn, you were lucky to get away from that, because Joe was coming in like a steam train into the corner. Finn now sending Joe into the corner. And hooks him on that top rope. What's he going to go for here? Is this going to clip through the cage? No, it doesn't clip through the cage. And Joe gets caught with that reverse superplex. And the Finn chant starts up. Finn now sending Joe into the corner. And Joe with a jawbreaker. And a big uppercut as well. I thought Joe might try and climb them, but he decides against it. Continues the assault, now sending Finn into the corner. And he hits it this time. The big tackle in the corner. Then that massive kick. There's the pin. But there is no pinfalls in a cage match, is there not? I didn't hear the referee counting there. I don't know about you. Joe, you need to climb, mate. You need to climb. Now locking in that reverse dragon sleeper. Maybe it is pinfall, submissions or escape, which it probably should be, because that's what cage matches are in real life, aren't they? Well, there's a mixture, isn't there? Sometimes they do pinfall and submission and escape. Sometimes it's just solely escape. So Finn there with a sling blade. Now a kick to the back of the arm of Samoa Joe. Finn goes up to the middle rope and drops a double elbow. Again, now bringing Samoa Joe back up to his feet. What? Big right hand now locking it in. The 1916. See, I got it right that time. 1916. And now Finn going for the pin. And again, there must be pins on here then. There must be. So, yeah, 1916. Thank you, Heel Philly Fan 101. Because you reminded me earlier that it is 1916. Because I completely forgot it in the last video. Finn's trying to climb and he's right at the top there as well. I think he's going to escape. He is going to escape. Okay. So it was it's interesting. It was a little bit it's a little bit the opposite of what it was last year. So last year it was almost impossible to win cage matches. This year it seems very easy that time for Finn. It didn't take any massive moves really to keep Samoa Joe down. So that's interesting. I think it might have... we'll have to give it another try, see if it's consistent that way. But it seemed to be a lot easier to win a cage match now than what it was previous. But still a decent match actually. I'm happy enough with it. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you do have any suggestions for other random matches, again, please do drop them in the comment section below and I will get them on the list to record. Of course, this one was suggested, of course, by Jay over at Gaming HD. He wanted Balor versus Joe. It was my decision to put it in a cage just to try and spice it up a little bit, just to see what the cage match is like. And I think it turned out okay. Of course, if you could hit that like button, it does really help me out. It'd be fantastic. And of course, if you are new around here, hit the subscribe button as well for a lot more 2K17. What you got to lose? I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon for some more random matches.